Hey everybody, welcome to a Monday edition of Box Seats. My name is Frank Holder. I'm here with Fig and Talent. We got a lot of sports to talk about this weekend. First of all, if you guys don't know who Fig and Talent is, then I don't know what else to say, right, guys? I mean, you guys, y'all resume speaks.
Log off. If you don't know us, log off.
Yeah,
Are you crazy?
All right, now let's jump into it. A lot of sports happened this weekend. People say we don't talk about a lot of sports, so let me just get some of the sports out of the way, and then we're going to talk about the NFL and the NBA. The WNBA is having a Game 5 tonight against the Connecticut Suns and the Las Vegas Aces. They're having a Game 5, winner take all. That's happening tonight. That's one sport down. Another sport that we have to talk about starting this week is Major League Baseball has finalized their season. They're starting now. People are starting to figure out what the seedings are. They're starting off tomorrow. So tomorrow, in case you're watching the show, we're going to start talking more about baseball. We have to get into the seeding and see what the Yankees, because I got two New York guys, see what the Yankees came in at. And then, of course, talk about the players in the leagues and the players and the teams that got bounced out that didn't make it. But I want to start today's show by talking about a story that I didn't see on SportsCenter all weekend. I didn't see it anywhere all weekend long. I'm not sure if you guys heard about it or not. It involves Joe Montana. Joe Montana, I'm not if you guys heard about it or not. And if you're at home, you're sitting here watching this, you haven't heard of it, I'll tell you real fast. Joe Montana and his wife were minding their granddaughter, and a woman snuck in and tried to steal their granddaughter and walk out their house. Now, first of all, the woman snuck in their house. That's, obviously that's all kinds of alarms go up with that. Then she grabbed the baby, and Joe Montana tackled this woman on the way out with their grandbaby, in their arms. Now, I can say a lot about that, but Talent, what's the first thing that goes around through your mouth when you hear, oh my goodness, a person snuck into Joe Montana's house and stole their granddaughter and then tried to actually get away with it? I mean, just
this I've been saying this trafficking / abducting thing is big business. You know it's big business. Yeah. And you going, this ain't no regular neighborhood now. Right. Now you're talking the Montanas. So you're not even talking about the average modest suburb or in the inner city. You're talking about somebody, this was an intricate plot for this to go down like this. I think it's more to the story too.
Yeah, I think so too. I honestly think so too. Fig, what's your thought when you hear this?
Well, first off, the fact that he said intricate plot made me think of a Biggie song. And it's an intricate plot. I'm like, where's Joe Montana live is what I want to know. Where you at, man? The projects?
Right.
How are you sneaking in Joe Montana's house? Where's he living? Do you not live in a gated community? Do you not have security, fence, alarm, and stuff like that? Where are you living that somebody can sneak in your house? I mean, look, clearly, this can only happen to white people because black people, we lock our doors. You understand? We're not sneaking into a black person's house without making some noise because we're going to lock all out. Even if we're in a nice neighborhood, we're going to lock our outdoors. I'm also surprised at the fact that Joe Montana, as a quarterback, can still tackle somebody. That's not his job. He plays offense. Who knew that he could tackle?
Well, he not only did he do that, he saved his granddaughter. Now, here's the other crazy story of the weekend that I didn't see anywhere either before we jump into the sports. Minnesota Timberwolves guard Malik Beasley, we all know who he is. He got arrested Saturday and is facing felony weapons and drug charges because he got caught actually holding. Now, again, I said Minnesota, so we all know about, his dealings and everything else. Talent, when you hear that story, what do you think?
Ooh, he got caught holding. Listen, if anybody got a right to get caught holding, it's the people of Minnesota. Mm-hmm. You talk about in this country, the top city of going through it since Memorial Day weekend. What was he caught holding?
Minnesota. In Minnesota.
No, what he holding what though?
Oh, a drug. A lot of. They didn't say which drugs. He just said he got a lot of drugs.
Because if it's weed, let him smoke.
Yeah, but it's not weed. It's not weed.
Then sorry to hear that. Minnesota, he's going through. Let me tell you something. Woo! I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna tell you right now. What is going on with this trend of we have it, but we don't have enough? Mm-hmm. This is about the fourth person in 1 year span who is well off, a good job, whether they're in sports, they got a good contract, and still are getting caught dabbling with the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, bro. Like, I know it's Minnesota, and I know certain places people think people ain't watching. This is 2020. This is pandemic year. They're always watching.
Right. What's your thoughts, Vic?
Man, I don't know, man. I'd like to know how much was he holding? Was it a personal stash? Does he have a problem? You know what I mean? Maybe he was buying enough to hold him over during the pandemic. Like, we never know.
Well, they said
he had a gun. Maybe it was a legal gun. Maybe he, sometimes when people put out stories, I'm just like to know more, because, you may be carrying a gun and have a license to have a gun. I mean, that's part of the story I don't know about. And how much drugs was he actually holding?
Well, they said he could be facing up to 5 years, which probably means it'd be 2 months. You know what I mean? Probably 2 or 3 months. Because honestly, when this news starts throughout the report, they always give you the max, and then they never consider what the minimum is. So he probably, because he's had other priors, he'll probably be given 2 months, if that. But again, it's Minnesota. We don't know how that rolls out. But here's the thing. We have to move on because we have to talk about the NBA, and the NBA finals now are set. We know the teams. When we last spoke, the Celtics were getting ready to have a game. I think it was game 5. And we also were talking about the Lakers, because the Lakers were getting ready to get set. Over the weekend, the Celtics ended up losing and the Lakers clinched. So now it's Miami. It's going in the finals, and they're getting ready to face the Lakers. Talon, let me start out with you. What was your thought on the series overall between the Lakers and the Nuggets? Because the Nuggets put up a valiant effort, in my opinion. They put up a valiant effort, and I think they're the team of the future. But I don't want to put words in your mouth. What was your thought on the series between the Lakers and the Nuggets?
I think it was a good series for them. I think that if you watched the Nuggets last year, they were making noise last year they raised one eyebrow last year. When you go fast forward to this year, even though we went into the bubble and everything, their stars shine double. And I think now going forward, everyone knows that they're a force to be reckoned with. That's the best thing you can hope for in the NBA, is that you're respected. It's kind of like comedy. Figno, we just want to be respected by our peers. Right. There's a lot of us playing in this game, and when I walk in a room, I get some sort of feeling about people being nervous that I'm there. That's Denver right now.
Right.
Denver walks in the room, the rest of the NBA is like, why are they here? Who invited them?
Right. Fig, what's your thought process on the Eastern Conference Finals? Now they're set. Now you got obviously the Miami Heat is going to face the Lakers. What was your thought on the series overall between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics?
I think they were fairly matched, and I think a couple of guys on the Boston Celtics had a letdown. Kemba Walker didn't play up to par. They had a few letdowns, when Miami went into the into that zone defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Boston kept trying to, do that one-on-one play. Your turn, my turn, my turn, your turn. And that's not the way to beat a zone. You beat a zone by playing team ball and moving the ball and make them move their feet. Mm-hmm. And they just didn't do that. And it caused them a couple of games here and there. But other than that, I think they were pretty evenly matched.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, you know what? Because of the NBA this year and the NBA bubble, words already started, leaking out all weekend long about trades and things like that. Because, again, NBA bubble, NBA season ending so soon, NBA season getting ready to start soon. Word coming out of Philadelphia already is that Mike D'Antoni is going to be hired as the head coach. First major move he wants to do, if he's hired, is he wants to see if he can trade for James Harden to come to Philadelphia. If the trade happens, the only way it would happen is if they trade Joel Embiid out and get James Harden in. Now, Talent, do you think, of course, we have to start talking about trades and things like that because Bleacher Report is reporting this. Do you think that makes sense for Philadelphia to do, or should they leave that trade alone? What's your thought process just by hearing about that trade?
I don't think it makes sense because you're going smaller. Philly started to make noise when they went bigger. Mm-hmm. And then now to go back to small, they must have a backup plan for big.
Well, you got to think about this. Not to interrupt you, got to think about this. If they do that, they get Joel Embiid out. You got to know that Montrezl Harrell's a free agent. Serge Ibaka's a free agent. They're going to be making a run at somebody who's big. So they're going to pair them up with somebody who will be with James Harden. They're not going to have nobody be.
Yeah, but Philly doesn't do good with a traditional big man. They need a big like Embiid. Like Embiid's an offensive big, right? So you can't just be a big and come in Philly with that lineup and just think you're going to start winning. You're still going to need a big of that caliber that is a scorer.
Right.
You know what I mean? Remember, they just screwed up a big three.
Right.
So in my mind, if you're going to do anything, you're trying to get back to a big three. Who's that third person? Not just a big that's going to be there, but a third option in scoring.
Right. Absolutely makes sense. Fig, what's your thought when you hear about Mike D'Antoni coming as coach for Philadelphia? That's one big one. And two, if he comes in, James Harden opts out. No, his contract is going to be renegotiated and up again in 2022. So they have to make a trade for it to even work. Does it make sense to you that Philly would even do something like that? What's your thought?
It's like the worst. It's like the bad just getting worse. Like Mike D'Antoni has solidified himself as the greatest regular season coach that has ever coached a game. Regular season. Because as soon as he gets to the playoffs, his system always falls apart. It's never gone anywhere. And then you have a player like James Harden who's ball dominant, and you're going to get rid of Joel Embiid. What you going to do with Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons can't shoot. What you going to do with Ben Simmons? You're going to put James Harden and Ben Simmons on the same team and do what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, come on, people. Like, my God. I'm just like, I hate analytics because it takes the people who know basketball out of the game. That's all I'm going to say. The people who actually know the X's and O's, chemistry, team basketball, analytics is messing all of that up. Stats don't, as far as I'm going to say, stats means nothing unless you're actually winning. If you got a bunch of stats and you just keep losing, what good are the stats? We're in the age of T-ball where everybody gets a participation trophy. I don't want no participation trophy. The only person that should get a trophy is the people who win.
Yeah, but don't be like that, man, because Ben Simmons will learn to shoot. He'll be able to shoot by 2024.
Right. Here's the other big trade they were talking about. Here's the other big trade.
Him and Giannis. They put them on the same team. That ought to work.
Both of them. Here's the other big trade they were talking about. They were talking about Victor Oladipo out of Indiana, and he was going to get traded. No one knows where he's going to get traded to, but Indiana's supposedly looking to ship him because he's in his last year contract. I don't even know if that makes even sense for Indiana to trade because he's their star, but they want to restack and obviously go back to the draft to see what they could do for the upcoming years and everything else. Now, I don't know who would be the leading candidate to be even take on that contract, but Talon, do you think Indiana should let him go?
I don't think they should, but hey, man, Knicks are going shopping, so go ahead, let him go. Let him go. And I say this for real because I had a chance Saturday night to kick it with Donovan Mitchell's dad. He came to the show with the New York Kings Saturday, and we got to kicking it, and we me, him, and Rob were talking about that missed opportunity with the Knicks. So this reminds me, and they resemble each other a little bit. So it reminds me of we can make up that mistake. So I don't want to help Indiana. Let him go. Nobody gonna pick him up.
What you think, Vic?
I think Indiana's a horrible town for Victor Oladipo. I think Victor Oladipo, his nationality is Haitian. We have plenty of Haitians in New York City. He'll be right at home. We got all kind of ethnic food and stuff like that. He'd love it in New York City. We got people who speak his native language. Like as soon as Victor, ça passe. It's all it. Ça passe, Victor. My brother.
Ça passe, ma poulet.
I want to tell you something right now, Victor Oladipo. You will be very happy in New York, my brother.
All right. Now we got to really move. We're talking about the NFL. Something happened over the weekend also that made me start thinking, I don't know what the NFL, even if they have a backup plan for this. The Atlanta Falcons cornerback, we're going to talk about the games in a second, but the Atlanta The Atlanta Falcons cornerback, A.J. Terrell, did not play because right before the game, he got tested positive, which got my mind to thinking, wow, if they take you out for playing, because you can test positive, what happens if Russell Wilson tests positive? What happens if any of these quarterbacks coming up to a big game? Let's just say tonight, coming up tonight. What happens if a big name player tests positive? They got to pull him because they started pulling smaller players. Talent. What's your thoughts about hearing about that? Make sense? Not sense? What are you thinking?
Again, we're going back to that same old argument of that we knew we would be talking about.
Right.
If you're pulling people because they're testing positive, I mean, that's going to be part of the game. I think that's part of the new norm. We need to start looking at testing positive like sprained ankle, torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got ripped COVID-19. You got a ripped COVID-19. He's going to be out for 2 weeks at least. So it makes sense to me because what else are your options? That makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. So that has to make sense. I agree.
Yeah, Fig, I'll say the same question to you, except I'll add a caveat to that. Yeah, big word, caveat. What happens if it's playoff weekend? You like that word. What happens if it's playoff weekend, wild card weekend, and your star quarterback can't play now because now he got COVID? These are thoughts that I don't think people even thinking that far ahead. Let's just say it's, I don't know. Let's say it's Kansas City Chiefs. They're getting ready to go. They waited a week. Let's say the number 1 seed. They waited a week. They get ready to play. But Patrick Mahomes now tested positive and he can't play. That messes up the whole landscape of the AFC. In my thoughts. What's your thought?
Yeah,
man. Listen, forget about that far down the line. It can mess up tonight's game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope none of these dudes test positive for tonight.
Right.
This is Monday Night Football. I'm been looking forward to this, man. I'm like, what? KC against Baltimore? I'm like, yo, this game is gonna be flop. One of those dudes test positive, man. It's just like, yo. Not only that, think about Vegas and the betting pools. All these people that bet on sports, bet on football and stuff like that. One of these major guys go down and you already made your pick. You already put your money down. They go out. You can't take your money back. What you going to do then?
Right.
Like, yo, man, let me tell you something. This whole thing is dangerous. I don't like it. You know how me and Talent feel about it. Like, yo, listen, it ain't such a great idea. You know what I mean? But hey, adults going to be adults. They making millions of dollars. Sometimes it's money over life. It's you.
Right. But let's talk about the NFL games this weekend. Before we actually jump into the actual games themselves, you know how I like to do. I always like to say, who was your MVP of the weekend? Even though we got a game tonight, before we jump into the game tonight, Talent, who was your MVP this weekend? And I have mine, but I want to hear who yours is first.
Okay, so my MVP of this weekend is the same one again, back at you, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, good.
Aaron Rodgers. He is the superhero of quarterbacks. So when you look at, you know what he's doing right now? It's almost like he knows he can't, but so much depend on his defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to come out there. He's James Harden on the football field. I'm just going to drop 40. Because I already think my defense ain't going to stop them from getting 39. So I'm going to drop 40, 41 so we can get the victory by any means necessary. That's my MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Fig, who's your MVP?
You know what? I can't be mad at Aaron, but I'm going another direction. I'm going Seattle. I'm going Russell. Ciara helped him level up this weekend. He leveled up this weekend. He balled up. I think he threw over 5 touchdowns, 300 and some odd yards. And he's the first NFL player to throw, for over 14 touchdowns in a 3-week period.
Yeah.
I got to go with the curly haired Russell Wilson. Yes,
I like your pick because I think he's the MVP of the season so far. I think if you get but again, I'm gonna go with just this weekend. My pick this weekend is gonna have to be Nick Foles because he came in and his team was losing, and he was playing the Falcons. He came in third quarter, erased a 14 point deficit, and took them to the Chicago. And I don't think anybody saw Chicago coming back from from that game with Mitch Trubisky coming in. Can't wait to hear what Rodney Perry got to say about that one. But that's my MVP.
Yeah, man, let me tell you something, man. Nick Foles later in his career has made a career of coming in when players are not doing well and lighting it up, man. He did it for Carson Wentz. Now he's doing it for Trubisky. I mean, this may be Nick Foles' thing. You know what I mean? Just coming in. He's a substitute.
He's the new Fitzpatrick.
Speaking of which, hey, Talent, did you happen to check out? I want to talk about the Cowboys game and everything else. If you happen to see the Cowboys and Dak Prescott game, the thing that everybody was talking about, how it was a great shootout and everything else, but the thing that nobody's talking about is that Dak Prescott, even though he was having a great game, he's playing under a contract year. And people have been saying on and off that, yeah, he should get the money. No, he shouldn't get the money. To me, the question from me to you is, don't you think, regardless of what happened, that brother deserved to get paid? Because if his defense was good, they would have won the game. But, go ahead.
I agree with you. He deserves to get paid no matter what. And I think he will. Now, will it be Dallas? That's the question. Yeah. I think someone's going to pay him. But will it be Dallas is the $1 million question. Because to jerk dude around, because this is the second season. Last season was a jerk around. This is the second season of jerking around contract-wise. If he did it last season, I don't put it past Jerry Jones to do it all this season. And somebody else has to come in and go, we'll give him the money.
Yeah, he got it immediately. What's your thought?
Man, I didn't see the game. I saw a lot of highlights and stuff like that. I know Dak did well, but you think Russell Wilson threw a touchdown, the dude lollygagged his way into the end zone and got it knocked out of his hand. He was if he would have just held the ball and just ran into the end zone, this game, it really shouldn't have been close. And then there was an interception that Dak threw, and the guy caught it, and then it bounced out of his hand, and Dallas receiver grabbed the ball and ran down the field with it. So the game really, it was like a few bloopers that made the game close that it really shouldn't have been. But I think Dak should get paid because, like Talon said, if they had a defense, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. Talent, Tom Brady and the Bucks, they destroyed Denver yesterday. The game wasn't even close. I watched that game, and Tom Brady seems to have everything clicking. Now, everybody now is already picking the Bucks to either make a great run or actually be in the Super Bowl. Do you see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting past Aaron Rodgers, the Seattle Seahawks? I mean, there's a couple of other NFC teams out there. Do you see Tampa Bay actually being in the Super Bowl? So even though
I can see it, and those two teams you named are really the only two they need to worry about in the NFC. Mm-hmm. I think coming out of the NFC, Aaron Rodgers and the Seahawks are really your two top contenders. All this shit we talking about is barring injuries. Barring injuries, those are your two top to worry about. So you lump in Tampa Bay in there, and that's your top three right there.
Right. What's your thought?
I think Tampa Bay could go to the Super Bowl, but they're going to need tickets just like everybody else. Because barring injury, baby, Tampa Bay might get past Seattle and Patrick Holmes and the boys up there, man. Look, I love Tom Brady. Tampa Bay is a very nice team and stuff like that, man. But Lord have mercy. Man, listen, that's a tough division, man. Not them teams. Not unless somebody get hurt.
Right.
Unless the COVID kick in. Maybe they make it on the COVID.
Right. COVID could literally come in and wipe out half a team, like literally overnight. You know what I mean? Because the NFL's not letting anybody. If you get COVID, you're out. So that there's always that underlying factor. Let's go back to Aaron Rodgers. Since you said Aaron Rodgers, he's playing like out of his mind. One of his best seasons he's had so far. Talent, you think he's really going to stay in Green Bay? You really think he's going to stay in Green Bay and just say, you know what? Because according to the news report and everything else this morning, he said he's happy. Everything looks like he's happy. But you never know. I mean, you never know. What's your thought?
Frank, I think the reality of what we as civilians call happy and what players call happy is two different things. Happy is money. Happy is appreciation of a big money contract. And I think that we can tell by the drafting and his tenure in the game. He's to Green Bay. He's that guy that if they give him a contract, I don't see it being more than 2-3 years. He could go somewhere else and get 5 easy. So I think what you said last week on one of the shows with the rumors, the mumblings going on of him going to Dallas may not be as far-fetched.
Right. I was thinking that over the weekend too when I was watching him play, because we all know that he seemed to be playing for another contract, and he seemed to be playing because he's really upset. He's playing an angry player who's really good plays like a bat out of hell. Fig, what's your thoughts?
Man, I hate to agree with you guys, man, but I have to, like Aaron Rodgers.
Why would you hate to agree?
Because it's a sports talk show, man. Maybe we look, man. Aaron is balling out. I don't know anybody. Anybody outside of Green Bay that thinks Aaron has lost a step. I mean, everybody that plays against him, everybody that sees what he does, the fans, the other teams, they know what Aaron is capable. He was in the game. He was one game away from going to the Super Bowl last year with hardly any weapons, and his team did nothing to help him get over that hump. Like, they could definitely get back this year, but they drafted a quarterback.
Right.
Instead of getting him some receivers, or maybe it just doesn't make any sense. It's like you right there. It's like what Houston did.
Mm-hmm.
Houston was right there, and instead of helping James Harden out by getting him some shooters, they gave him Russell Westbrook, who can't shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense.
All right. Now I want to talk about cuts. All right, Talent? I want to talk about cuts. Head coaches who should, regardless of how you feel and everything else, the question's been raised over the weekend and this morning if certain head coaches should lose their job. I'm going to start with you all's New York favorite Jets, Adam Gase. After that destroying yesterday, should he be fired? Now, I ask this question every single week, but after yesterday's performance, it seemed like a high school team could have beat them. But, that's just my opinion. Talent, I think Adam Gase should be fired now and salvage the season. What do you think?
I think you're disrespectful. I think I answered this before, and I said you have to go in at least 4 weeks. The man has another week on preseason. If he can salvage and get a win out of it and turn the thing around, he did it with the 4 weeks. You got to give him that respect. You know what I mean?
Talent. They got a good defense. The games should be at least competitive.
I know.
Okay. You want to stick with your answer? All right, I'm not going to. Fig, what
Don't
you think?
be disrespectful. He has another week.
All right, I'll give him one more week. Fig, what's your thought process on?
Wait a minute. What? Oh, straight. I just got it in. Adam Gase was taken from the stadium right to JFK. He's on the next flight out. Yeah, man. People been talking about getting rid of him since before the season started, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm looking at the people that they have on the roster, man. They gotta have, look, you can't call a quarterback a star. This is his third season. Last season, they won 6 of the last games that they played. You thought that they would start out on a different trajectory to this season. They didn't have a preseason. I mean, nobody had a preseason, so it's not like they're the only ones, but you would think that they would be doing better. Like last year, Sam Darnold had mono and he was out for a while. Who knew that mono was dangerous for an adult? Kids got that all the time back in the day. He had mono. They're like, who gets mono? You would think that this is something that would happen in San Francisco with the porno quarterback. You know what I mean? That's something that you.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
You would think the Garoppolo would be the one with the mono, but Sam Darnold got it, and I don't know who to put it on. They got a team, man. It's just like you put it on the coach. I mean, they do have a halfway decent defense. The quarterback is pretty good. This is his third year. He looks like he's like he could do something with a few players around him. So I don't know where to place the blame, man. Are they gonna go 0-4?
Okay. All right. Speaking of firing head coaches, Dan Quinn, Atlanta Falcons, only team in NFL history to lose 2 14-point, 15-point games 2 weeks consecutively, and the team is completely going in the other direction. So far this morning, word is that a lot of Atlanta Falcons players are extremely upset with what happened. That loss yesterday was embarrassing. I guess there's no other way to say it. Talent, should he be fired?
Yes.
Okay, so he should be fired, but Adam Gase shouldn't be fired. There's no love there. I don't.
First of all, apples and oranges. One's in Atlanta and one's in New York. All right, everybody know we are the capital of everything. We the capital of the BS. So being the capital of the BS, then we get more of a chance. We in New York. We're in a tougher city to survive. So you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. He's in Atlanta. There's nothing going on in Atlanta. Like he's in the capital of the strip clubs. How could you not survive?
But Tyler, you just said we in the preseason.
That's in New York, B. Look, now I'm talking like a New Yorker. That's New York, B. Yo, B. Listen, son.
Word.
In New York, the rules apply different. Everybody know that.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So he needs to go.
Frank, you don't think New York is different? How can you have a losing basketball team and still sell out the arena? It's New York.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not different. I just thought it was funny the way you say, yeah, he needs to go. And
yeah, I was being funny, but no. Here's the thing. The difference is this. The difference is you're talking about a team that's coming from the previous season of a well-built team. They had a good machine going. They didn't lose a lot of pieces. They came back with that well-built machine. And coming back with a well-built machine, you starting off like this, and you can't hold nothing down. You can't execute on defense when you need it. You talking about you compare them to the Jets. The Jets got all of these new pieces that they're trying to make work. They constantly, we done brought receivers in, let them go the next half a season. We done brought linemen in. They hurt for the half a season. Like, we're still building. Nobody in New York is going to sit there with a straight face and tell you the Jets are ready.
Yeah,
when we watch the Jets play, we do this, and we hope. And I'm a betting man, so that's one thing I never circle on that sheet.
Fig, question is for you. Same question, but I want to just ask this: do you think they still have a Super Bowl hangover from this? I mean, the Atlanta Falcons seem horrible, bro. Horrible. What's your thought?
Well, here's the thing, man. I got to give them a little pass because they planned for Trubisky, and they were winning when Trubisky was out there. And when they switched up the quarterback, it like threw a monkey wrench in their whole plans. They're like, oh, you can't do that. You can't switch quarterbacks in the middle of the game. We're playing for Trubisky. He got to finish the game. Right. Now you're going to throw a Foles in here. You're going to throw a Foles in the game? Now you're going to mess us up, man. And that's what happened. The Foles came in, and the Falcons landed. That's basically, they were flying high when the Trubisky was in there. And then when the Foles came in, they landed, and they started walking.
The funny thing is when teams are playing Atlanta and they're down, now they sit there and say, you know what? We can still win this game. You know what I mean? We can still come back. We're playing the Falcons.
We can come back.
Yeah, we can still win this game. But now it's time, it's that time when we always get ready to bring in my man who always agree or disagree.
It is time for I Disagree with the man, the myth, the legend, Rodney Perry. Shouts out to Frank Holder for the new segment he kicked it with today. Stuff you didn't see on the internet. What other ring you didn't see because nobody gives a damn. Well, let's check it out. Joe Montana fumbles a kid and recovers the fumble. Well done, Joe Montana. Minnesota, we're sick of you. Stop it. Let's keep it going. They say that Mike D'Antoni may be going to Philly. He He's taking James Harden to Philly to lose somewhere else. Way to go, D'Antoni. You never trade one all-star that's young for an all-star that's old. Don't do it. Second place is first loser. All right, let's keep it going. They're saying that there's a COVID cover-up. COVID, people are going to be catching COVID and messing up the season. I predict a cover-up. They could use COVID the other way, gentlemen. They could take a player like, say, in Chicago, when you want Nick Foles to be starting, but you don't want to really hurt Mitch Trubisky's feelings, you can say, Trubisky, your ass got COVID. My MVP of the week for the Chicago Bears, quarterback Matt Ryan. That's right. Matt Ryan for the Chicago Bears completely did his stuck thizzle for the Bears. Well done, Miggity Matt Ryan. Hold on, lost my song. There we go, we're back. Frank stole my pick of Nick Foles. Well done, Frank. Well done. Although I was a Trubisky fan, forget him. All right. Dak Prescott, NFL. Dallas Cowboys, pay the man. He's as good as the young man out in Cincinnati. It's so many white gentlemen that have been paid, and you telling me a black man named Dakota can't get his paper? Get out of my face. And finally, time to reach a point that I have never reached on this show. I get the opportunity to disagree with all you guys, all three of you at the exact same moment.
Okay.
I disagree. You talked about the great Aaron Rodgers and this Pelican brief of a theory that he was gonna leave Green Bay for Dallas. I thought I had poured water on the theory last week. Y'all want to bring it up again? Y'all want to bring up this whole? Let me tell you. I'm gonna say it for the last time. Aaron Rodgers is not leaving Green Bay. Man is 37 years old. Who gonna give him a 5-year contract somewhere? And mind you, I'll say it again. Green Bay, Wisconsin is the best place to play in the NFL, period. You don't want to leave Green Bay, the great ownership, the way that people treat you in town, to go to the dysfunctional Dallas Cowboys. It's absurd. Why would you ever do that? Okay, let's do y'all now. Frank, you know what? I'm going to leave that down. I'm going to leave that alone. And finally, you guys discussed the NBA. I heard something that I was appalled at. Comedian, amazing, fabulous peer of mine, Talent Harris, likened himself to the Denver Nuggets. I want to go on record. The Denver Nuggets are no Talent Harris. They might be a shawty. No disrespect to shawty, but he could come out and blaze and destroy the stage or not.
Oh God!
The NFC is a great division. Y'all reduced the division down to 3 teams: Tampa Bay and the other 2. What about the Bears? What about New Orleans? The Bears are 3-0, people.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears are 3-0. Mm-hmm. Is New England 3-0? Is Tampa Bay 3-0? Boy, y'all better pay attention. I don't mean to use no profanity, man. I'm trying to keep my mouth right. Hey, I love the new segment, Frank. In case y'all didn't see it, stories y'all didn't see. I like it. Frank Holder. That's a new one. I like that.
God.
Yeah. First of all, Philly is another one of them cities, man. You don't want to go to Philly for no reason. It ain't no reason to ever go to Philadelphia. You don't have no trust. You know, Embiid didn't know he's African. Philadelphia, I'll go. He didn't know. That's where all the foreigners end up in Philly because they don't know no better. I see we got more New York talk that the reared his dirty little head. Look, not only do Adam Gates need to be fired, he needs to be fired from other jobs. Like he can't manage a Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? Like Adam Gates he can't run a Meineke muffler shop. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that requires team building, he can't do it.
Oh God.
He's not the dude.
And it's tougher to coach in New York than anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised he lasted this long, but it's the Jets. Even New Yorkers don't give a damn. With that, I'm gonna go, man. You guys, I love you. Frank Holder, let me tell you something, man. You looking great. I don't know if you got some new glasses or what, but you look amazing, sir. Shouts out to Figs, beautifully coiffed hair. Are you getting a haircut every day? All right. Tyler Harris, please do not reduce yourself to the Denver fucking Nuggets. Okay? I'm not gonna let you do that. You are better than that. I mean, at the very least, Boston.
Man.
By the way, I didn't hear Frank say nothing about Boston.
Oh God.
But
while we were talking about Joe Montana nanny, did we leave out the Boston Celtics debacle?
We gonna talk about
the fact that New Edition failed to show up to the game? Huh, Frank?
We gonna talk about it. We got all week, Rodney. We here all week.
Oh, you got, but you got to do it today, Frank. It's over. Ain't no reason to talk about Boston after this. Like, I'm sitting here going, I'm like, maybe I missed it. Where my Boston notes? Did y'all, Coach Fig, did you see any Boston notes?
No.
Frank think he's slick. See, Frank be reducing the hell out of this show, first of all. But you know, I know he got down to that game. He's like, you know what? We don't need that. ain't no use talking about that. That's because Frank know he was gonna weep. Y'all don't have to do my guys like that. Ronnie.
Oh man.
I was about to go. I'm glad that's all. I ripped that part. That was great. Well done, guys. Great show. Box seats, my favorite seat in the house. Shouts out to my guys. Well done, Frank Holder. Wow.
Thanks a lot, Rodney. I appreciate it.
I love you guys.
RP.
That's Rodney Perry, y'all. That's Rodney Perry, y'all. That was Rodney Perry for our segment called I Disagree. Now we got to find out whether what we got wrong or what we got right. And I got to bring in my man, checking the facts with Stacks. And before we even open the floor to him, Stack, I know you feeling bad about the Celtics the way I am. So we'll just, I did gloss over it a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, because I'm still mad. But
you didn't really though. I mean, I think Fig summed it up.
Yeah, he did.
You just said they were pretty evenly matched. And too much. What is it? Isolation basketball. That's all. You can't beat a team like Miami like that. You just can't.
You got outcoached. I didn't add that part.
Yeah, and like I said, before the series, Eric Spoelstra has always had Brad Stevens' number every time.
Right. So did we get anything wrong? Did we get anything wrong today, or where are we at?
Two things. Victor Oladipo is Nigerian. Okay, he's not. He's African. His parents are from Nigeria. He's not Haitian, right?
Now, as much as I give junk to the New York people, you Boston people got to own up. Stack, I can't believe you, Stack. Oh my God, Frank, you did get it right. No, he didn't.
You know, and we covered. Ain't nothing else to say, man. They out. When you out, ain't nothing to say. Ain't nothing to say. We don't waste time talking about losers on our show. We don't do that.
Leos, Virgos, Scorpio.
Damn.
Go ahead, I'm gonna listen.
The next one is Tampa Bay does not have to go through the Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl because they play in the NFC South. The Chiefs are in the AFC. So other than that, y'all been cool, you know. And I really appreciate Ronnie for the I disagree segment because a lot of that stuff I be wanting to say to y'all. But I'm happy that he gets to y'all before, gives me some time to cool down. You know what I mean?
Hit him again.
No, that's cool. You do such a good job. I don't even want to mess it up. I like how you just drop the mic and walk off. You know what I'm saying? Just leave it right there. You know what I mean? That's all.
He does do that well. He does do that well.
Talent, likening himself to the Denver Nuggets. Damn.
Yo, missed the analogy, man. It's an analogy.
But your name is Talent, right?
Right. But
Denver Nuggets have no talent.
Problem.
Stack from three.
Yo, oh no.
You should have been on the game with the Boston Celtics.
Hey, I should have been. I was waiting on the call, but you know.
All right. Well, let's go around right now. Let's ask this since we only got a little bit of time, and we know that the NBA Finals are kicking and everything else. Everybody's picking the Lakers. Is there anybody up here who thinks that the Miami Heat even have a chance? Roddy, I'm gonna start with you. Do you think Miami even has a? Never mind. Stack, do you think Miami even has a chance?
Yes, because their strength is the Lakers' weakness. Perimeter defense is the Lakers' weakness. Miami's strength is perimeter shooting. They really do look a lot like those Golden State Warriors when the ball was just flying all over the place and they was dropping off threes. And they play very good defense and they're better coached than the Lakers. So we gonna see.
Yeah, Talent, what you think?
I don't think they have a shot in hell. I think the stage is set. We all know what the NBA wanted to see and who they wanted to be there. And you think we were complaining during the conference finals about the referee and officiating?
Word.
Oh, get ready. Get ready.
Word.
Especially with it being the Kobe year and all of that, man. The Lakers are get it, number 17, and tie the Celtics.
Yeah, Fig, do you agree, disagree? Do you think Miami even has a chance?
You know what? I thought that Miami had a chance because of Spoelstra and the defense. Because if they play the same defense on the Lakers like they played on the Celtics, it reduces the Lakers to a perimeter shooting team, and that's not their strength. If they could do that, they have a chance. But what Talent said about the refs,
yeah, he's right. You're absolutely right.
If you turn the refs into the sixth man, then Miami don't have a chance.
When you shooting threes, it don't really matter.
I'll go on record and say this. If they're as hot as they played against Milwaukee, they have a really good chance. Because in the Milwaukee series, they were on fire. And the Celtics series, they were cold. So you don't know what Miami Heat team is going to show up. But it's going to be hard to beat the Lakers because forget about LeBron. AD is going to do what he's going to do in the center. Now, let me just ask this because we only got a few minutes of time. I got everybody here. Tonight is the NFL game. You know, we got the Baltimore Ravens, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to start with Rodney. Who you picking between tonight's game? Because that's a pretty evenly matched. I think it's two of the best teams in NFL, period. Who you got, Rodney, before you roll up out of here?
First of all, I'm mad I didn't get my pick for the other thing.
Yeah, we know you're taking the Lakers. So.
No, it ain't as simple as that.
All right, let me ask you. I'll ask you.
You guys put y'all little 2 cents on the thing. Let me say, first of all, you're all insane. Okay. if the Denver Nuggets are shorty, then the Heat is shucky ducky. Okay. They ain't got a snowball's chance in hell. They got about as much chance this apple is to making it not in my stomach. Know this. The Heat, the perimeter defense, what? Stack, you expert.
You'll see. You gonna see.
I'm not gonna see. I'm gonna see. They're gonna mess around and get swept. If they don't win this first game, that's the conversation. Is will the Heat get swept or not? That's a more a better idea. I say they might get swept. Lakers in 5. And tonight, I like the Baltimore Ravens because they're the darkest team.
Okay. Stack, who you got tonight? Because it looks like it's a pretty even match. Baltimore versus Kansas City. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I just think they're gonna score more points.
Okay. Who you got in this game? Because it's a pretty big game. Two of the best teams in the league right now. Statistically speaking,
right. I'm gonna agree with him. I think the Chiefs are gonna put up the most points. I think just having that capability. I think when the game is tight, see, they haven't played tight game. What they do is they jump out on you, and then if you happen to come back, then they turn it up another level. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I think Mahomes gonna show off tonight. It's Monday Night Football. Light-skinned people show off in nighttime. You know what I mean? They glow. So They glow. Rodney, you know I'm not lying. Light-skinned people glow. So when it's night out, dark-skinned people get a little quiet because you can't see them. And light-skinned people, they're glowing. So I'm gonna go with Mahomes. I think they're gonna pull it off.
All right, Fig. I'm glad you got this word.
Listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all one thing. Don't forget y'all already made your picks, and I got them written down. I got Baltimore tonight because the Chiefs hasn't played well. I don't care what nobody say. Chiefs haven't played well, and both of the games that they won just by, a Patrick Mahomes curly hair. You understand what I'm trying to say? So they just barely squeaked by. So I'm going with Baltimore tonight to take it.
I'll go with Baltimore too. I will do that tomorrow. Fig, you got to do the picks, right? Tomorrow you got to see who won over the weekend between all of us.
But let me tell you something, man. You and Stacks is already lead, and talent is right behind. I'm pulling up the rear. Rodney Perry is just ahead of me, but not by much.
Hey, y'all know y'all got my picks. I got my picks right here.
Yeah, I got your picks down already. I took them off the video from Friday.
Yeah. He went and did his homework. That my man Fig did his homework. He got all of it. Rodney Perry. That's only Rodney Perry can do that. Tally, can you tell everybody out there how we can follow you, find you?
Hey, find me on Twitter at It's Just Comedy, Facebook King Talent Harris, and IG Talent the Comedian. Bomb.
Big.
Yo, you can follow me at Comedian Fig. But before I go off, man, Stacks tried to pull a fast one and tried to pick a Monday night, a Thursday night football game on Friday. Nah, man, you ain't getting that. He tried to pick the Miami Dolphins on Friday. Now you can't pick Miami on Friday because the game was Thursday. You do not get that one.
I was out of the country. I had sent it. It took a while to come over.
He said it took a while for his text to get through.
It took a while for it to come through.
That's a good one. Rodney, how can they follow you, Rodney?
I'm easy to find. The website, RodneyPerry.com, all the social media, Rodney Perry Live, and I disagree with your ass, too.
Go ahead, Stack.
Yo, y'all can find me at Stacking Over on Instagram and Twitter. That's it.
All right, y'all. Thank you all for joining the show. Tomorrow we got to finish out the NBA conversation. We got to finish the NFL conversation. We're even going to start talking about the Major League Baseball because they get started with the playoffs tomorrow. And we're going to do our homework. We're going to find out who's the first seed and who's the eighth. And we'll talk about that. We got to talk about all that. That's what my man Rodney Perry said. Right now, make sure you download the Human Real app and and we're on all devices. Call your neighbors Friday. Get ready to tell them to add us. We are box seats. We're here every Monday through Friday from 1 to 2. That's Big. That's Talent. That's Rodney Perry. That's Stack. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all take it easy.